Cyber traders, welcome on back here to begin our week here this Monday, October 23rd. Of course, I got my ugly mug once again. Fausto is still on vacation for his lovely wife anniversary, and he will be back tomorrow, I believe, probably in commute right now. So great to have all of us back inside our live trading room. We had Kathleen before, Brian, Brad, Egan, Grant. John did pretty good before. Steve did pretty good before. Andrea looking for shares to short on Harp, one of our stocks in the pre-market watch list there. Great to see Kennedy and all of us just live inside the trading room. Great to have all of us back otherwise on Facebook Live, all of our social media streams, Facebook Live, Twitter nowadays, YouTube, etc. Be a friend, tell a friend, just at Cyber Trading You right there, just on all of our social media channels right there on our stream. So with that being said, let's hop right into the thick of it here. To be transparent with the market drop-off that we had from the end of last week, I'm looking to see a lot more volatility heading into this week with the earnings that's coming out. We have Microsoft, Amazon, Google. There's a whole boatload more that I'm forgetting about. It's earnings season, right? So those are the main three players for this week. We came off last week. We had Netflix. We had Tesla, obviously. So with that, we ended up seeing IMVO this morning in pre-market. I wasn't necessarily expecting this. I was more hands-off this morning in pre-market. The only chart I actually do have lined up here, and it's not going to be on... Oh, did I not clear my lines? Okay, cool. There we go. My SPY chart right here. I was going to peel back the curtain a bit, show you my actual chart there that I have here to trade. I didn't clear these lines yet. So SPY chart's the only thing I'm personally following going into the open, just more or less the options, the 0 days till expiration options on it. So we'll see which way the market can break or bounce. But with that in mind, I wasn't expecting too many stocks in pre-market to look good. It was a shorter pre-market watch list. So Harp, Andrea, hopefully he's doing good on the short if he was able to get the shares, because that thing did drop off the way he wanted. What else did we have on our pre-market watch list? Obviously, Mara. I was going to get to that last. ROIV, pre-market dumped off after the 7 o'clock move. Then after 8 o'clock, didn't really do a whole lot either from there. And then, hey, with Bitcoin making a strong bounce Friday heading into the weekend, broke back over 30,000 for a little bit. Might still be over there right now live. Mara is moving back up, gapped up a little bit. Hasn't done a whole lot, though, in pre-market. After 8 o'clock, where we look for that 8 a.m. move, would it go up like 10 cents, 12 cents? It's not a whole lot. So, hopefully the calm before the storm, hopefully if we get a good bounce within the market this week, if not today, Mara could be a great beneficiary of it. But outside of that, I wasn't really kind of thinking about a whole lot here in pre-market. So that is where the IMVO took us by surprise, and it still led to a great trade from the VWAP price a little bit later on. I called that out after the initial pop. So what's the news out on this company? Honestly, I don't even know. I had it up on Benzinga here just to prep up for this meeting, do my homework here, but looks like IMVO Bioscience agrees to acquire another company, looks like private company, in an all-stock transaction. Well, I'll tell you what, normally when one company buys out the other, typically you see a gap down, because for the company to be spending cash, spending money to purchase another company out there, it's actually like, not to say inverse, but when you see a company get bought out, they gap up. Actually, another stock here today, this morning, I think just that, TGH. The stock, has to be a buyout here, just looking at the way it flattened out after the gap up this morning. That's typically what happens when a company gets bought out. But for a company to buy another company out, you normally don't see this type of squeeze up, actually. So very impressive. Actually, just recently, a moment ago, pulled up on Bookmap, pulled up on level 4. It still needs to keep going, but it broke over resistance at 150. There were a couple of different sell orders out there, right before the pop. So it tested it earlier, about 40,000+ shares. And then even right here before the break back above it, you had another 21,000. You had another 12,000 here at 51, 13K at 52, and just like smashed right above them all. So let's see this flip into support. It has so far, and we'll look to see if this can keep pushing up. Your next resistance seemingly is like right under 180. You got a 25,000 share order out there. All right. A lot of talking today. We're on the stick actually up until 1 o'clock Eastern time, short break, but then we actually have our class this afternoon. It is class week for all of our students here. Grant, Michael, Andrea, Kennedy, Lawrence, etc. We got a packed house here for a Monday inside the Cyber Group room. We got the phase 1 and 2 classes being conducted this week. Of course, I teach those myself, and you'll have Fausto next week for the advanced class, phase 3. But more or less, it is a busy day today. A lot of coaching, and to make sure I get my water in. So that said, INVO, I'll put this on our watch list to begin here. Hopefully it keeps going, but with this news that came out, a little suspect out there. All right, so I'll tell you otherwise, though, nothing really too impressive to write home about in pre-market. We covered our list already. This is the best one. So let's see if there's anything else looking better at this point or is good. Maybe making like a 9 a.m. pop now. The stock LMDX, I got to look at it at least here. I may as well look at it now. It's up 292%, but it's a 35-cent stock. We're not really trading 35-cent little penny stocks here. So I will tell you, it has made a beautiful pump up. If someone did jump in after 7 o'clock, kudos to you, but it's not on our watch list, not on our radar. We see these happen every single day. Maybe not to 294% degree, but you'll tend to see these penny stocks pop and drop all the time. So we're emotionless to it all, even if we miss out on it. This thing pop. I don't know what happens here. ESMT. What the hell is this? 745 broke out. This could be a buyout also, looking at the way it's moving. I don't even care to check. I don't even care. It's not even worth our time. Keep moving. Wolf. I mean, geez, I don't know if there's any news out on this company, but it's not really making the best move either. So, if I really need to jump back to a Wolf, I guess I will. Roiv, again, same thing with that. Not really impressive at all after the 8 a.m. move. And with that, I'll keep it on our side list now, our B list. Harp, same deal. Andre, if you're able to get the short off on that, you're looking pretty nice. But otherwise, past there. At the Bitcoin stocks, like we said, Mara, Riot, and blah, blah, blah. Mara is the one I'm going to be favoring. It's up more percentage-wise. It's more volatile. They own more Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin explodes in price, in theory, you would imagine that Riot would be a much larger beneficiary of that. CLSK is a company that is very surprising in the sense of how much Bitcoin they actually own. I don't have the number in the back of my head right now to give you, but more or less it's to say that I saw on Twitter, saw on social media like last week, looking at like a report on the crypto miners, very underrated CLSK actually. So I'm going to look into this more as a swing trade over time alongside my Mara for students like Grant, Michael, etc. You know that I'm big on Mara for the long term. So it's not even worth asking like, hey, Josh, you still bullish on? I am bullish on crypto long term, always. But short term, though, I really haven't been. They could be good day trades here and there. And, Mara and CLSK, perhaps if we get some better movement across the board on Bitcoin holding over 29,000, now perhaps 30,000, these can make a better swing trade here. So, Mara, I'll put on our main list. I didn't do that before, I don't think. CLSK, actually, I will as well. It's up over 6+%. So, even if not as a swing trade, just as a day trade, nice little push up the last minute, popping up a little bit more. We like that. We like that here. So, hey, let me ask us, for all of our students inside our live trading room, if all of these crypto Bitcoin mining stocks move similarly or together, do we need to call every single one out? Do we need to call every single Bitcoin stock out, every single crypto miner stock out there? No, we don't. We absolutely do not, right, Bill? So, hey, I'm going to add Mara. I'm going to add CLSK here. If there's anything looking better than those two, then I'd be surprised because I was scanning just before. You got Hut up a tiny bit. You got Canon up a tiny bit. I saw BT up a little bit more earlier. Maybe they dipped off. Yeah. Side list, not even that actually. If like Mara and CLSK are moving, then it's not even worth it, right? Those are our two main horses in the race for today. And then if you trade the options or you do more expensive, stocks, then in that case, perhaps Coinbase could be for you. But even such, Coinbase is only up 2.4%. It's not up as much as Mara or as much as CLSK is yet. So, you know what? Actually, I will add Coinbase to our B list for right now. Coinbase in particular. The others we'll pass on. All right. So let me know if there's anything else looking good from the gainer side. Maybe not the crypto miners at this point, but anything else looking good on the way up, let me know. Hop over to the losers list, though, otherwise, seeing if there's anything looking good there. RVMD took a huge hit. Down to 18 bucks, getting actually pretty close, surprisingly, to all-time lows. Still has a ways to go, I reckon, like 13, 14 bucks roughly. But that's a big drop, though, on the intraday. So let me break back open Benzinga Pro just for the curious mind here. Why is the stock down 33%? So RVMD shares trading lower after the company announced it presented clinical activity and safety data from its phase 1 trial of blah, blah, blah. So obviously not a good reaction from the street there. there's probably a lot more to that headline, obviously, likely a big giant report, but yeah, otherwise down big here today. It could be a good short. Just the order book is really like a ghost town right now. It is empty. So just because it's down big doesn't mean I'm as particular to follow it. If this does fill in a lot more, I will be a lot more of a fan of it. It's pretty much as straightforward as that. This is dropping off. Don't get me wrong. It's only trading like 86,000 shares, though, comparative to like Mara, IMVO, CLSK, and maybe some shorts here on the loser side. It's not really a whole lot. Would want to see a little bit more here in pre-market even. All right, so I'll tell you, I mean, it's not really too surprising for a Monday, but I don't see a whole lot more out there across the board on the gainers or losers list. So for all of us collectively, just, Grant and all of our students here, leading the way through in Cyber Group and all of us on social media at Cyber Trading U. Once again, be a friend, tell a friend. Just make sure that you're subscribed to all of our social media streams, including Twitter, including YouTube, but that being at Cyber Trading U. And let me know if there's any other stocks that you folks over there would want me to look at as well. Got a nice fancy water cooler next to me. Long day of talking, so I may as well refill now. All right, so Jith asking about the HARP trade. Yeah, we looked at that just before. It wasn't going anywhere really at the time. It's just making lower highs, lower low. It looks like a gap fill on the intraday. And, maybe later on, if it can make some like higher low, don't get me wrong, it dropped off from a little, from a higher price, like 13 down to 7. So when it does solidify as support, it likely could bounce $1. But, are we waiting on that throughout the morning? Are we banking on that to be like a 9:30 move? Doesn't look like it's going to be a 9:30 move the way it's trending. So that's where it's like, it'll be on our side list, Jeff. It's there. It's on my notepad. I wrote it down at least for the side list there. All right. So, hey, 3 stocks to work with, 2 of them being the Bitcoin miners. That's all we got here for a Monday. Can you believe Powell's speaking again this week? Did you know that? Did you know that Powell's speaking again this week? I saw on the calendar, he's yapping again at I think Thursday after the market closes. Thursday after the close, we got Powell today again. I don't know about what, but surely it's going to do the market wonders, I'm sure, right? So definitely stay tuned for that. Bill says, I know how you love Powell. I think everyone loves Powell, right? As much as Jim Cramer nowadays. So again, last call, folks. Up, down, left, right. Let me know if there's anything else before we finish up. I believe that you'll get Fausto back tomorrow morning. Hey, Chuck. Why you call me an idiot? I'm teasing. Chuck says, idiots like to talk. Here I am yapping right now for the last 13 minutes. I'm talking all morning. Nah, Chuck's obviously not referring to me. He's talking to Kramer and Powell are good friends there. John says he'll bring the popcorn, Terrell Owens style, right, John? There you go. All right, folks. So, hey, we're going to finish up here for the meantime. Pretty short list, honestly, but we did our job. I mean, hey, we went through the gainers list. We went through the losers list. I mean, if there's a Tesla out there that's making a pop without me, then let me know, like a side list stock that is a name brand, Tesla, Apple, not really going anywhere. So, hey, let's start with what we got. There's no need to try and dip away from this watch list at the open. After like the first 15 minutes, 9:45 in the morning, if there's nothing looking good from the INVO, Mara, CLSK, then we'll look at HARP. Then we'll look at Roiv or Wolf even. Luciano asking about Snowflake. I was going to say, I'm like, is this all pre-market data? I was like, whoa, what happened here? Is this all pre-market? No, this is all yesterday's or Friday's data. I was going to say, I was like, wow, it's a good trend. Yeah, it is on a good downtrend, but yeah, it's only trading 36,000 shares there, Luciano. It's just on our side list right now. I mean, there's so much that looks like this in pre-market. It's spotty. There's not much activity here in pre-market to show any sort of smart money being traded or direction. And that's okay. Again, there's for the, I don't know how many thousand stocks that are out there publicly listed out there nowadays in the stock market. We got 3 of them on the watch list. 3. So if I'm not putting a stock on the watch list, it's a-okay because there's not much out there that looks good. And on top of that, it's a Monday, folks. It's a Monday. So Mondays and Fridays, we normally don't expect a whole lot. But with that in mind, after the close today, we'll get a bunch of earnings. And all throughout this week, again, we have Amazon, Google, Microsoft, the works, basically, we'll say. It's week 2 of earnings season. So looking forward to it. And for all of our students here in our chat board, hey, stay tuned. I'll be back on at 9:30 for the market open. let's try and make some money together here heading into the beginning of this week. Talk to you all soon. Take care.